guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm doing a review of the Witch's Kitchen Oracle cards by Barbara Meiklejohn-Free and Flavia Kate Peters, and this is illustrated by Richard Crooks. So I received this deck, I don't know, like a week and a half ago. I've been using it kind of for like one card pull for myself, and then I used it on my most recent live chat. It was freaking awesome. So I was like, yeah, I need to do a review of this deck for you guys. This box is a pretty freaking awesome. I think that the artwork on the box is pretty cool. I know it's just like an average box that keeps your cards nice and safe, but I think it's very pretty. Anyway, so let's open her up here. And I'm gonna put this off to the side. And we'll take a look at the guidebook first, because I think that a lot of you are really going to dig the guidebook, actually. Especially if you love to do a little bit of spell work, you like to, whip something up in the kitchen. This is a lot of fun. So this is what I was mostly using for my most recent live chat. Okay, so it goes into introduction of like what is the kitchen witch and what is, how could we use this kitchen witch oracle. So there's that. Gives you kind of like, the basics of how to use the deck and some sample spreads. But here is the fun stuff where we get into the cards. Okay, it's pretty much all, the same layout for all the cards. But let's say we turn to eucalyptus. Okay, so you will have a picture of the card. You'll have the word or the herb and the keyword just like you would on the card. But here you would have more of kind of like the words that would go to a spell or a mantra if you wanted to, that connects with that particular herb. Then you would have the guidance of eucalyptus, so speaking through eucalyptus's voice. Then there's a recommended recipe, and this is what I love because I love to bake, I love to make things, and so I was like, yes, with the recipes. And then it gives you like some little maybe unknown information about that particular herb. So I love the recipes, and I ended up making a recipe for cinnamon on my most recent live chat. So I took everybody into the kitchen and we busted out some honey and some cinnamon and my coconut milk, and yeah, we ended up creating something like really delicious, and I'm gonna end up having to recreate that because it was great. So yeah, if you love to make stuff, this deck would be fun for just what do I need right now? And a lot of the recipes are very simple, as you can see, just a few sentences. So it's something that you could definitely whip up in the kitchen pretty quickly. So I am all about this guidebook, you guys. Okay, so let's put this aside. Now you know my love for the guidebook, because it's basically a recipe book while getting some really cool information on the herbs. Okay, first I want to show you that this deck has some beautiful silver edging. Oh, so wonderful. And they are your, let's say, average oracle card size. Like if you, probably a little bit smaller, just a tad smaller than the, what other deck am I thinking of? Lucy Cavendish has some pretty good sized decks. I'd say this is just a smidge smaller than maybe a Lucy Cavendish oracle deck. Okay, so let's take a look at our backings, which is all kinds of starry, greeny, cauldrony, witchy goodness. And if you read reversals on oracle cards, obviously this cannot be reversed, but I personally do not read reversals with oracle cards or tarot cards, but I can read them in the reversed position. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom us in and we'll take a look at these cards. Okay, here we go. So first off, I wanna show you guys that the borders are basically the same on all the cards. You got this kind of green border. You have these symbols for the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. And the background is pretty much always the same. You know, you have this bat and mouse and, you know, these books. So you have like the kitchen. The kitchen's the same. And you always have this little black cat that's back here, except for the catnip card. And you'll see that when we get there. That's the only time the cat comes forward is for the catnip. But the foreground is always different because it goes with the herb. So you have, or the magical element. So we have salt. And then you'll see that the foreground is different here, but the background will pretty much always be the same. So what's happening here is going to be different. So, okay, I just wanted to point that out as we go through the cards. So I love this. I love, you know, see how they kind of add to the border depending on what the herb is, but it's pretty much kind of always the same. At least, you know, elements of the background and, you know, your air, fire, water, earth. So I think it has a lot going on visually. I could see people may be off-put by the green borders, but for me, it's like looking through a magical portal. And it's like I'm being brought into this person's kitchen. That's so delicious. So it's taking hyper real images, so like some real photographs, and doing some photo manipulation with them through like Photoshop or, you know, some sort of maybe Adobe product. And then I think some has been like created digitally. So it's like a mixture of digital creation and digital manipulation. So here we go. Here we get to the catnip. So you see that's the only time our little kitty has moved from back here behind the book to, I'm gonna get me some of that catnip. So yeah, we had so much fun during the live chat. I pulled a card for everybody, for each person, and then I read a recipe that went with that card for them. And a lot of people were trying to figure out, oh, like I could do this with it, or, you know, I could, you know, tweak it this way, you know, to fit my needs. Because obviously, you know, it's, at least for me, like when it comes to baking or even with spell work, I don't like to go out and go buy a bunch of things just for a particular spell or just for baking, because then you're with like stuck with all these ingredients that you rarely use. And for me, I just like to tweak things to fit more of what I have on hand or is local to me. And I think that's kind of what being a witch is all about. It's all about utilizing your environment and creating magic, you know, whether you're creating some magical cookies or you're creating a magical spell. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Hokey pokey. Or in this case, hocus pocus. So I can tell that this may not be everybody's bag, but this is my bag, baby. It just makes my little green witch heart sing. And since there's so many uses, like you could see some of the different uses for mint back here. Oh, mint chocolate chip ice cream. I didn't even see that before. That is my freaking favorite ice cream in the whole entire world. I could live off mint chocolate chip ice cream forever. But that also could help you in your intuition. So when you're trying to figure out how to work with, like, let's say mint, you know, you could look at some of the different uses that are back here and you're like, oh, you know, you can gain a message that way. If there is an herb that is maybe not local to you, you could just maybe sit with its energy and see what comes through during meditation. That's what I like to do, because sometimes there are things where it's like, okay, well, it's not native to San Diego, so, you know, I'll sit with the energy. All right, and then we have last one, cinnamon. That was the one that I used earlier to make my special brew. Okay, let's zoom out. So I'm gonna do a little shuffle. I'm gonna pull a card and then we'll look at what it says in the guidebook, because like I said before, I'm very smitten with the guidebook. So let's do that. All right, we have aloe vera. Put these cards off to the side. We have soothe with the aloe vera, and let's get in nice and tight so you guys can see the awesomeness of this card. And I have an aloe vera plant actually in front of my front door. Okay, so we're gonna put that down. I'm gonna grab the guidebook. Let's see what aloe vera has for us. I believe that's the first card, actually. It is. So we have a soothing gel to heal the skin, digestive tract heals from within, inflammation, immune disease, my golden juice will bring you ease. This magic has worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. I love those. I love rhyming in my spells. Okay, so it'll give you, some guidance from aloe vera, but let's take a look at the recipe. So you can make an aloe vera gel for treating burns, sunburns, small cuts, dry skin. Slice off an outer leaf of the plant with a sharp knife. Drain the yellow resin into a cup. Now use a spoon to scoop the clear gel from the leaf into a clean, sterilized glass jar. Keep in the fridge. You can also freeze the gel in an ice cube tray and use as needed. And then you have a little bit of background on aloe vera that you may not know. That Queen Cleopatra used aloe vera as part of her daily beauty regimen. The ancient Chinese used it for wounds, reducing fever and burns. Written documents found in Egypt dating back 6,000 years honor this sacred plant as the plant of eternity and used it to embalm the dead. So there you have it. This is the Witch's Kitchen Oracle cards. I am really happy with this deck, and I told everybody on my live chat, I was like, dude, I need to review this deck for you guys. So I said, I promise on my next Sunday review, I'll definitely do that. So there you go. Let me know if you guys have any comments or questions on this deck. Maybe you already have it, you work with it, maybe you work with it with tarot cards. I haven't had a lot of different ways to work with it yet, but I do like tapping into the herb through recipes. I like that because usually, well, I mean, I do incorporate, I guess, my herbs into my like regular food and drink, but in a magical way, and I do it for spell working. But I just like how this is laid out, basically. So I'm really happy with it. Anyway, if you guys dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding 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 notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. And I have a link to my Welly's World Oracle on my website. And if you want to send a little love my way and you have suggestions for other videos or things you'd like to see me do, then think about joining that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot. And that's it for me, spiritual homies. I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.